Hello and welcome back to another episode of our Transport Fever 2 journey in Germany. We have our HQ here, which has leveled up. We've not really looked at it since we built it, but we have a little rail statue going on and we are progressing. We are on, let's have a look, level 18 with our company score. We've got no need to repay any loans in our bank. We're doing well and Germany is serving us well. In the last episode we did a lot of organizing of a couple of our train depots, mainly this one where we have lots and lots of cargo coming in and out, and becoming a bit of a cargo hub for us, which is good. We have trains flowing nicely in both directions as they come to this station, he says. But they all look fine now. It seems to be flowing well. And we need to do some more industry. We could do transport yet, but with the fleet of trains, we have a look at one of the depots over here. In terms of steam, we're waiting for something I think a bit beefier. In terms of passenger cargo, we can go 50 kilometers an hour, but our highest locomotive is 45. I'd like to wait for maybe the next one up from there that will really start to bring our populations of our towns up. We see Berlin here is definitely growing, has had a dip, but it is being supplied with plenty of bread, and tools and machines are on the way, but they've not arrived yet. And we also need construction materials to boot. So we've done some construction materials over here, taking our construction materials out to this powerhouse area of Germany around Dusseldorf, which is really cool, to be honest. And we have our bread going that way. We have tools, we have machines. We haven't really done goods yet. Now Berlin doesn't need goods, but it feels like we should start to build up that kind of capacity. We do have fuel coming out of here, so goods is really the only industry which we haven't yet tackled. Now, where actually needs goods? We have Rostock and Stralsund up there. Wolfsburg needs a bit of goods. Let's have a look around. Coming down south, we also have an industry made purely to make money. Down here producing planks and tools, which we're not really utilising. Not many places need goods. Let's find a goods factory and see where we can take them to. So here we have a goods factory in an area we already have been using. And consumer wise, Frankfurt, which is right next to, oh no, this is the wrong Frankfurt, excuse me, my geography's not that great. Meppen needs that, but it's not a big town. Wien, the capital of Austria, I don't know, do we touch Wien in a Germany playthrough? I'm not sure. Frankfurt Oder, or Oder, it's not got an umlaut. Anyway, you can correct me on that pronunciation. Frankfurt needs goods, and it also needs fuel, which I think Berlin, I can't remember the settings I've got in this game, will eventually need as well. So it might be worth trying to bring some fuel and some goods out here. Now that may be a bit of a challenge looking around. We've got some plastics up here near Stralsund, where we already have our bread production going, so that could work quite well. But we need a good... now here's an interesting one. So we have this goods factory, and it could take goods all the way down our rail route over to here. We are already bringing stuff in a boxcar. We kind of want to take stuff that way though. With that, to really make this line profitable, would be great if we were taking stuff that way. And we have a refinery here, so that could work well. We've got a line up there. Most of our railway line is built up to there, so that could work really well. So I think making plastics as the first step. And then we've got goods here, look. So we can get our plastics up to this corner, bring those down, and then take those goods part of the way up. So the plastics will be in goods wagons. They'll come down here. Then the goods wagons will go back half the trip up with some goods for Frankfurt and onwards and upwards into our network. That feels like a really good option. We've got an oil field here near Dresden, which is going to help with making our plastic. So let's start with that. We need to get 400 of this here, and obviously now we have the money to do it. We're going to do it by rail. We're going to bring this line down and bring it into there, because we're going to need it. So we're going to need a station here eventually and there. So let's put down those stations actually, so we know where we're going. So we're going to have a station here. We'll put a through station there, just the one platform for now. And we also need a station somewhere around here that connects into this factory. And we have our Prussian. Oh, we got new vehicles, so we're almost in the era where we want to do passengers, but we'll save that. We'll save that, dear listener, dear viewer, for another episode, I think. We've got a refinery here, which will need a station. And we'll flip this around. If we can. Might need to create a road here that will allow us to connect in. So we'll build in our road to connect these two together. Too close to the factory, let's go there. So now the factory lights up and we are connected. So we've got 3 stations that we want to bring into our railway line, but we're going to bring our railway line around this here, this little stop, so as not to clog it up with the trains stopping all the time. And I think what we will do, I mean, this is only a farm, so we're only ever going to get I think one platform is going to be fine, although we've got another train waiting there to come in. So maybe what we'll do is we'll configure this, we'll add in an additional platform. Let's have a look, platforms, cargo platforms. We'll pop that platform in, so this station is fully kitted out, I think, for all we will need. And then we'll put the tracks on this side as our pass-through tracks. We're not going to use this side of the platform for our purposes. And then we need to bring this line in, and hopefully we've not got to go too far, so that we'll need some deletings in order to be able to do what we need here. The game's freezing because it's auto saving, which must be annoying to watch, but I do worry sometimes. So we'll knock that out there. The game will whinge at me that it's got nowhere to go, but we can put our little crissy crossies here and move our signal, or add in a signal here to protect this junction as we go. So I think we'll probably move this back a little bit, pop them there and get rid of this one. So that gives us access to there, and then we need to allow those trains to use both lines, which we shall do. Perfect, so they can use both sides there to do that, and that should reduce any trains waiting there. So now we need to connect this line and bring it out to bring it out here. Now we want to make this as, we could do this all the way on the bridge. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of both of these signals, build the line first. So I'm hoping that if I do it like this, where we bring it into there, we're still at 98, 120. If I make this a bit longer, doesn't really like it. Maybe if I start on this line, just at the end of the bridge here. So we'll get 113, which I think is fine for this time in the game. Get rid of the line so I can see what I'm doing. And bring this one out over here so that trains can bypass the platform there. We can pop this signal as a one-way signal here to protect that junction. And we won't put the one there because we don't want any trains stopped over this junction. But we can put a signal here to stop them outside of the junction, which works rather nice for us. Only thing with using stations like this, the station tracks, is you can't put signals on them, so they have to be on the outside. So we could potentially put one there and there, or we could do it on the other side. I think that's what we'll do. So now we can run our tracks out and a nice curvature here. Now we might do the same thing again with this one. So if we have this set up with a bypass in mind already, putting our 2 cargo platforms here, should be plenty, and then we can put our tracks down. It's nice and neat doing it this way using the station tracks. Gives us a nice neat layout. You could of course freestyle it if that's the kind of thing you're into, but for now we're going to do it like this, and that's a nice 120-mile-an-hour curve all the way around there, and we can bring that out to here. Lovely jubbly. So that works out nice, and then in order to connect this in, we need to bring it into the track here. Doesn't really like it when you do it this way around, so we'll do it this way around. Nice high-speed turnout. Not the maximum speed, but we're going into platform, and we're in 1875, so I'm not too worried about that just now. So that's that station connected, and we've got one more station over on that side, which before we do anything we'll configure this one as well. So we'll add in some additional tracks, some additional platforms. Could have of course just built this with 2 platforms, but there we go. And I've got a wonky platform over here which I need to get rid of. Oh, and I want cargo. So we have our setup here for this one as well, which we can build towards our line. So we've got our track here, nice high-speed line. We've got a bridge, but you know, we've got so much money now. Bridges aren't a problem. 892,000 is not even that expensive anyway to cross that river. So that looks good for me. And we'll connect in this side as well. And then we just need to connect this in. So we'll go from about here to there, and here to there. Nice high-speed turnouts with some protecting signals on the way in, which we need to do further down. So we'll put in some signals to break up the track sections. And do we need to connect in this side? What have we got here? We will be bringing oil this way, so we will need to connect this track in from this side. So I may need to do this on the bridge, although it might not let me. Ooh. So a bit of a slower turnout to come here. And hopefully space for a signal just here to protect it. Now we've got a signal there and a signal there. Could maybe squeeze one on the top of this bridge here. And then we can protect that junction on that side as well. So that's looking all rather good. We have the track going down here, which may go further down. We've got another goods factory down here. Oh, we've built a station for it. Oh, yes. Okay. So we may need to go further down. Let's just pop the signals in down here first. So we'll pop a signal in there, protecting signal there. We can't put any intermediate in this platform section, but we could squeeze one at the end here. We've got one there. We could probably put one in the middle, and then either side of this level crossing works well. And then we've got the signal protected there. Hamburg now demands goods, which is a good sign, if you'll excuse the pun. And because it's growing, it means it's growing. Now the track, maybe the bypass should have come off here really, and gone that way. We've got a bit of a hill there that we want to avoid, so we might want to deviate this track around to this side, looking at this goods factory. We'll put in some more tracks like we did before. 4 platforms for 160 meters, and then a bypass track at the side in case we want to go south for any reason, which I can't at the moment think of. Now we're heading in this direction up here, and we want to get over there. I don't think we're going to go just outside this platform, so I think we might actually. So we've got crude oil there, which is not really going to need to interact there, so I'm not worried about this connecting directly. If we need to do that, we can later down. What's important is that we come into this refinery here, which we've got a connection for. So we need to bring our lines. We'll start with our high-speed line, using that angle, trying to keep the speed up. There we go. We're sort of heading directly into this hill there. If you can see that, there's a hill, and I don't want to go in there. It's going to cost more. I could go around it, I think, and join in on the other side, which would be absolutely fine. So let's try and avoid that hill. Bit of civil engineering for this episode. So we go around here, around this hill, and then hopefully we can start to come down, because it is a bit lower, this track. Start to come down here and into there. So we've got a nice straight bit. Now we're on the right hand side, so we want to go into the right hand side of this track in here. And we join in at this part. I think works quite well. And that connected nicely, which is good. Thank you, game. Bring that out there, and then reconnect this all the way in. Lovely. Just need to connect in this station now to the line, which is not going to like me for that for some reason, so we'll do it the other way around. Bring that in, and then put in our signals. So we'll protect it in that direction and that direction, and then we'll have some intermediate signals to break up the track section here. Now, I don't know how many trains we'll have at this point. Now, a long train might block that one, so I'm actually not going to. I'm going to have a signal there to protect that. So I'm going to move this one back a bit. It's quite a big section here, so I think if I put the signals there, that'll keep that junction clear. So our goods factory is connected in, our crude oil station is connected in, and so now we can start from this side and bring that out. We have a depot here which is nicely placed to send trains out, and we have now the Prussian railway. Seems really fitting. It is twice as powerful as the Borsig, but it has a much higher running cost. Yeah, much higher running cost. About a 250% running cost compared to the Borsig, but I'm sure it will be able to pull a lot more. Now, in terms of cargo wagons, we're still pulling these 50-kilometer cargo wagons. So we'll get the most out of them, because this can go the full 50 kilometers an hour, which means we'll get more money for our cargo. So I think we're gonna try that vehicle. So let's select it. Let's give it a go. Let's give the Prussian a go. Now we're doing oil. So I wonder how long we've got 160 meters that we can go in our platform. So 157 meters there. We're still mediocre. We've got 105 capacity, 3.7 million for that train. And we'll put this on our new line, which is going to go from Dresden East crude oil plant. And we have a problem. It can't connect the stations. Okay, let's figure this out. So we don't have a signal here yet. Now, we didn't put any crisscrosses here at these platforms, so I'm wondering if that's going to be the issue, because the platforms have already been selected. It won't let me do it that way. I mean, I could make this longer, to be fair. We've got lots of space here. There. Gives us a nice high-speed crisscross, and another one there. Allows them to go into either platform, and then here we're going to need a bit of a shorter one. So I hope actually we've got enough space for it. looks like we might just get away with it. So we've got one there and one there. And we no longer have that warning. So our train should be on the way. Where is it? Here it comes. In all its glory, the new Prussian. Beautiful little wagon. With 105 capacity, so it is a nice long train. So what we're hoping is that it stays profitable with 21 wagons. No, train 20. Train 21? No, it's got 21 wagons on it. It's train 32. So it's nice and long. We haven't actually named it. So we can say that it can go to platforms 1 and 2. We don't want it to go to the bypass platform. And it's taking the Dresden crude oil. So we're going to rename this Dresden. I'll give it F. Dresden crude oil. And crude oil in this game is sort of that colour, so we'll give it that. We could paint the wagon. Should we try that? Let's manage the vehicle. Where's the little painty thing? Oh, beautiful. Look at it go. That is classy. It's like something out of Thomas the Tank Engine. Oh my goodness. We love that. And the wagons are blue as well. Well worth it. Well worth the effort to do that. I'm now converted to painting trains. It's absolutely what we need to be doing. It also makes it really distinct and easy to see. So you can see how much longer this train is than the grain train that we've got running there. The Frankfurt grain line, oh no, that's not the one we want. The Dresden crude oil line is saying we've got a rate of 317. So just from the one train, we're almost going to deliver all of that cargo, which I am quite happy with. We've already got plenty of oil building up, although we need 317 by the time that train gets there. Well, you know, we could have 2 trains running to get to the full 400, but I think maybe we'll wait for a better loco that can go a bit faster with some bigger wagons, and we'll get to that 400 that we need, because it's not a long journey to go from there to there. So it'll be interesting to see if this does make any money. And with just the one train, it's coming into this first station now. But with the one train, what I'm thinking is we might want to make it wait at Dresden East. Here. Make it wait for a full load, because we don't want it to... We don't want it to leave there and go back and waste time with half a wagon there. So yeah, we can get that transported and we can start doing some crude oil. Absolutely. An expensive train to run like this. It's cost us 250,000 already just to get it down here, and we haven't made any deliveries, but those deliveries are going to be 105 crude oil, and so hopefully that will make up for it. So the next order of business once that train gets back is we're going to need a train that can take this refined oil, and we need to take this refined oil all the way up to our plastics factory up here. Now thankfully we have a lovely little station and a line here, so I think perhaps around here we could spin off and head towards a station that we can absolutely put a terminal here, because there's no way this is going to need, I'm going to put 2 tracks on here as well. There's no way this is going to need to be anything other than a terminal. So we'll line it up. We'll pop a little bit of road down just to make sure they are connected. Like so. And just double check they're connected. And we can bring that line now out to our freight line on the eastern side of Germany. So we'll curve it around to around there, I think. And then bring that in somewhere where there's not any signals. About there looks okay. Means I don't have to rearrange my signals, I hope. And then we can bring this second track out all the way to there. We'll have a nice long crossover here, because the track is pretty straight. Trains are going to be going quick, I hope, and we can start to put some signals in. Looking rather good. Put one there, and then a final one there on this track, and then we need to protect the signal, protect the junction, I should say, there. I might just edge that a little bit further forward, just so that we've got a bigger space between that signal and that signal, and we're not crossing over and wasting our efforts. So now we need to bring some of that refined oil up here. We have not yet delivered yet a train, but we do have a train with 105 on, heading in the right direction. So let's get ahead of time and bring that train out. This train definitely needs to be a Prussian, because we'll get the 21 on here, 157 meters there. We are going to need more than one, because this is a long journey, and this, I hope, is going to make us some decent money with the length of the journey. So we're going to go from Frankfurt all the way out here to Stralsund. Now, I already have a problem, and I think it's to do with my Frankfurt station here. I've neglected again to put in a crisscross. There. And now we have that. Now I do need to protect this coming out. And did I do that on this side as well? There we go. So we've got rid of that. Warning signal, line 1, which is our, it's going to be our F Frankfurt odor refined oil. Now refined oil is going to go this dark grey colour, and I'm just have a look at the train. Got another Prussian on the way, but of course now we're going to colour it. Are you a fan of colouring trains, or do you think it looks a bit tacky? But I'm looking forward to seeing this in black. Look at it go. It's like something out of a nightmare. There's a ghost train. It's really clean with the nice gold brass fittings all down the side. That is a nice contrast. What a lovely train. I haven't done enough of this actually in this game so far. Just follow along with the cab driver in the cab, and here he is. Hello. There's quite a lot of detail actually on the internal parts of the train. You can see what they can see. They see the signals coming up. On our way to collect some refined oil, and hopefully, we will have some refined oil waiting to go. So they are producing now, and there is consumers, which will be Stralsund. We've had a delivery. We've got some stored. Are we going to get some on the platform? So it's coming out to Stralsund over here, where we will have hopefully some plastic. Now that line has a frequency that is not yet estimated. Interesting. I've not seen that before. I need to make sure that it can use both sides of the line here. And that seems to have fixed our issues. And we now have a shipment demand growing. Lovely. Okay. So we have refined oil there, and we absolutely, definitely, at this point especially, want this train to wait for a full load, because it's a long old way to go without a full load. So we're going to make it wait at least a bit. 105 might be a push. There is only 33 stored there, and we've got 11 on the platform, so it might depend on this train here getting back in time, but it will leave immediately because there's plenty of crude oil there. Train filling up the station rather nicely, almost perfectly, 157 meters, almost to the standard of German engineering. And we have the train here waiting, so let's manage the line again, and I'm actually going to say wait for a bit longer for that to fill up. So that train now is on a line with a rate of 71. We are hopefully going to be shipping, if I look at the crude oil line, 260. But because it's a 2-to-1 ratio, that's going to give us a rate of about 130, and this line can do 71. So we're going to need at least another train. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for this train to set off, and then I'll put another train on that line. I could do it now, but I think we need to have some spacing. Probably the best time actually would be when that train passes this depot here, and it's going north, the other one comes south. They'll be, I think, because that's pretty much halfway, they'll be really well balanced doing it like that. So we're banking on this train coming back with 105 oil now, and that's going to bring plastics, or it's going to start making plastics, which will then be demanded by this goods factory up here. So this goods factory is already connected in, but it's going to be a while yet. So we might speed up the game a little bit, allow the network to work through. And you can see with the two platforms was definitely needed here, because we have two different lines. We have our black and blue trains. There we go, filling up oil at the factory is going to fill up this train now pretty quickly. But obviously that train brings 105, and that's half load this, so we've got 82 stored there. It takes 2 at a time to produce one, so we'll probably get about another 40 onto this train, and then it will go, probably time out by then, and off it goes, but at least it's not empty. Now it would be great if there was a fuel refinery or a crude oil set up somewhere in the north here, because we could bring crude oil back down. Now, where are the suppliers? Oldenburg here, Köln, Hamburg, Wolfsburg, Emden is an option purely because we could do it by sea, I think. Although that's another long journey. We've got Köln 2, Hanover, Emden again, and one at Würzburg. So none of the refineries are really lending themselves to being delivered up here. So it might mean that we have a one-way trip, although it is possible that this might work well. Bringing boats out here through this nice little canal up near Denmark, over there and down to here, but that is gonna is across the whole map in terms of width. It is going to take a long old time. But you know what? We could just try it. We could just try it and see if it's a terrible idea. So if I put a, let's see, where's a good spot where it's not too steep into the cliffs, and we bring a road out here, making sure those tendrils connect. That should connect directly in, and it does. Good. I don't want to do any intermediate stuff, so I'm hoping I can do the same at this end as well. I think a nice little dock here with a road on the side, or where am I going to put this road? Just there. Connects in our crude oil, and handily we have a, oh, you know, if we're going this far, do we go for big trains? Do we go for big boats? So the Dunara can take all cargo types, and it's a large one, and it goes at 25 compared to the Riggy. Also goes at 25, but only has a capacity of 70. We go up to 100, with considerably more in terms of running cost. Yeah, about 50% more in running cost, and we're not quite getting 50% more in that. The Zoroaster. Now that only goes 22, but it has 90, and the running cost is more comparable to our Riggies, and it has a much higher capacity, so maybe that's the one to go with. Yeah, it's a bit slower though, but it has the high capacity, so I think we'll do that. So in order to get big boats working, you need to do a couple of things. So we need to get rid of the landing there. We can stick a nice big dock out the front here, and then we need a large landing. They are expensive at 100,000 a piece. We can build 2, and then we need to go to the other side of the map and do the same down here. So we'll configure that, get rid of the landing here, put a nice big dock on, and we can put a couple of landings here. Now we probably don't need both landings, but money's not an issue now. We're at 21 million, and all we've been doing is playing with building stuff. So we've been spending money and making more money than we're spending. So good time for experimentation. So we're going to buy one of these Zoroasters. I'm going to call them Zorros because Zorro is cool. We're going to go from Emden Port all the way out to Strathland Port here. It's going to be our F. Let's call it Emden Oil. And what that will mean is when that starts to deliver into here, hopefully that connection works and we start to demand some here. Now that is going to actually, it may well reduce, you see the it's going to reduce the shipment demand from here, which might be a problem, until this refinery levels up. Now we have not yet transported anything, but when that transportation happens, it'll work rather well. You know what? Might have made a mistake connecting this in. It's splitting the demand from our first refinery. We might have done it too early. Now how much are we getting? It has a rate of 11, which, you know what, is not that bad. I was thinking it was going to be like 1. So that is not bad at all. Now I am going to make this line. Again, when it comes to Emden, I don't want it to be going all the way without any cargo. And is there any cargo on the platform yet? Come on, where's my oil? Where's my oil? Give me oil. Oh, we've got 1 oil. We've started. Okay, this boat is pretty slow. Boats are so painfully slow. Wow. 22 kilometers an hour. How does that compare to some of our trains? What have we got? So yeah, it's considerably slower than rail travel. So you are getting less, but the calculations mean that boats do pay really well. Boats do pay extremely well usually, and if you're playing in hard mode or very hard, then they are almost always profitable, even with single leg journeys, if they're full at least for one of the journeys. So they are good to invest in. That being said, it is slow going. The shipment demand is lagging because it is slowly being split from this crude oil plant there. So that is, it's slowly going to take off here and do that. So at the moment I don't need another ship because I've only got 5 and I've got a rate of 11, but that will keep balancing out, I'm sure, as we go on. So we do need to make sure that this lovely line works. So let's check on the progress of our refined oil train, which is on the way back, having delivered, and there is now 68 stored, and it is consuming, and it is producing, but there are no consumers yet. So we have our goods factory over here at Dresden, which we're ready to go, and we're going to make that train. Now this is an interesting one. So it's going to come down here, it's going to drop off the plastics, and then eventually it's going to come into Berlin here, drop that off there, and by road we'll take that into Frankfurt, and I think that will just be it for now. There's a demand for 52, so it's quite high. So what we'll do, we'll get started with a train that's going to do this long old journey of delivering plastics, and then we'll add in the Berlin stop. So we'll do the Prussian again. We want to take the maximum amount, so we'll go up to 160 meters. We can get to 158 with that one. Capacity of 76, not quite as much as the tank cars with a capacity of 5 each. So that is going to reduce our load. So we're going to go to this Stralsund here, and then we're going to come all the way down. This is probably our longest journey of this whole trip here, and it's telling me I need to put in my crisscrosses again. Which we will do. And our little signals to protect the junction here. All rather good. And then did we do this? We did do the crisscross at this end, so that's all fine. We need to manage the line. We're going to need to rename it. We'll let them use both platforms there. This is going to be our F Stralsund plastic. And I'm not going to I like the colour of this one, so I think what we'll actually do is I'm going to repaint it nice red, and it's waiting for a free path. It's heading north. The signal is for here, is all the way back there. That's why it's waiting. No, it's here, which is why it's waiting for so long. So we could really do with a signal here, but I don't actually want trains to wait for new ones coming out, so I'm not too worried about that. Although there's not a lot of signalage in this area, so maybe we do just stick in another one there to make another section there. We'll see how that goes. But this train's waiting to go, and it's going to go collect our plastics. And hopefully that will mean, and we do have plastics waiting now, so we're not wasting the plastics that are being made. They are starting to appear on the platform ready to be collected. Now the line has a rate of 39, which is interesting. We're producing 37 at the moment, but I think that's going to keep going up because our refined oil line is 73, and it's a 1-for-1 difference. Now the train for our refined oil, you see here, is on the way back, and it's about to pass. Oh, we got stoppages here. Our busy line. They're stopping at that signal rather than one a bit closer to the actual junction. And you see that is, I did create a problem. So that signal, well, that train's, what are you waiting for? It's waiting for the train ahead to get going. So that train's going to come to the signal here, which makes me think I need to move this one back a little bit. So our train here is heading out, and I want to duplicate this train. And I'm going to select that. Now, just going to pause it a moment before it decides where it's going. It's heading for Strassland, which is the direction I want it to go. So that's good. Hopefully it comes out right and heads up north, as this one's going south. And we've got a nice, even though this is going to do initially quite a bit empty, it's going to be quite balanced, I think. Quite balanced indeed. And it means we've got a rate of 146 now coming in. A nice train horn sound in the background. That train's heading up north. This line is looking all rather good. Now, how are we doing with our boat? In all that time, it has made it to here, and it has 4 oil on it, which is nothing if not disappointing. Now, we do have a rate of 26, so we're going to need to up that to keep up with this, because we've got currently a rate on Emden Oil of 11. So let's duplicate that vehicle, get us to 23, which is about where we want to be, and we'll get another Zorro on the way fairly soon. So our plastics are going now. Goods also needs steel, because we're not going to produce anything without any steel. Now, we do have a steel plant here at Prague, which we could use to ship in. I can see coal. I can't see any. Oh, there's some ore there, and there's some more coal here. So there's definitely plenty of coal. Although the ore is going to be difficult. We've got to go through the mountains here in order to go there. Any other? Where else have we got? What other options have we got for steels? We've got Bremen up here, which we're already using. Hamburg is a potential option. With a line that's already there, could we bring in steel all the way down, which would work quite well? Or do we have enough ore in this area? Or do we just plow on and into this steelworks here? It's getting busy. I want to bring in some more steel. Hamburg would be good. Bringing it quite a long way. And there is ore. Where is there ore? There's some ore to the south here. Already with our lines connected in. This would probably be the easiest setup to start bringing that steel down. Maybe these lines will start to get quite busy. And at the moment, they wouldn't actually be able to do the journey. Because they come around here and over this bridge, we need another leg of triangle here coming round to allow that to go. Or we come across a new section here. So that does require a bit of work, actually. Does require a bit of work. Who else have we got? We've got one down here at Volkswagen. No idea if I've said that right. And there's ore. Is there ore? There's not really much ore that I can see around there. Nancy as an option is the opposite side of the map. Prague is still looking like a good option as well. And we've got Strasbourg here. So I think what we'll do is we'll go with Prague. Because then we can just supply this goods factory and keep up with the amount that it needs. So in order to do that, though, we're going to need our first tunnel of the game. And given that bridges are so expensive, I'm worried. I'm worried about the cost of. I'm worried about the cost of a tunnel, but we will see. So we're going to come straight into this station here, and we're going to configure it to add. Oh, we've got a new tram. We've not done trams. Next episode is definitely going to be passengers, because We've got trams now for our intercity stuff, and that is going to look really good. Proper trams, not horse-drawn stuff. That is going to be really good. So we can go straight through. In fact, I'll put the station down first. And we'll put it somewhere like here. Need a little bit of road to connect this in. To the factory. And that ore factory is now connected as well. And we can bring these tracks out to the other side. So they're going to go straight for the bypass. So it's a nice flat line through a tunnel, which is going to cost 7 million to build that tunnel. But you know what? First tunnel is built. We're going through the mountains. And it's totally worth it. So we'll come out to this side here. And we've got ourselves a beautiful long tunnel that we can ride in the darkness. Now it is a bit of a rough terrain out to the steelworks over here. And we're going to want to come this way in. But we need to go that way. So I think what we'll do is, and we may use this in the future to deliver to Prague. If I tilt it there, or should we go there? Oh no, I'm heading straight into the mountains there. I think what we'll do is we'll come round over here, along here, and we'll sort of curve around this way. And it'll be a bit of a tight curve coming out. Probably about there is where we're going to put it. It's going to be a bit of a tight curve coming out, avoiding the town, so we're going to have to come around like that through the lovely forest there. But I think that's worse. I mean, you could of course use 2 stations to do that. So what have we got? If we just go as the crow flies, we've got a massive viaduct. Doesn't even touch down on this central peninsula here. And then we go into a tunnel under the road. I just love the amount of tunnelage. Let's do it. So we'll come out through there. Just add in this section as well. So they're coming straight in there. I'm not going to bypass these because there's no reason really with the current setup that we're going to need to do that. We may do that in the future. In fact, let's get it ready for the future now. We have eaten through our money with the civil engineering works that we got. So yeah, maybe I need to be a bit careful around this. But as we come off this bridge here, it's not going to let me do it on the bridge, so I'm going to just off here. Still fairly high speed. Right off the edge here. We can bypass it. Maybe in the future we'll have a line that runs to Pilsen, and we'll thank ourselves for that. But we need to now curve around the outside. So we skirt the outside of Prague. And then we can bring this... Oh, it doesn't like it. Bring this out to here. Like so. Doesn't like it when I do that way around, so we're going to go the other way around. And it doesn't like it. It doesn't like that at all. Let's just do this bit by bit, see if we can get this to work. Yep, that works, and we'll make sure we have our crisscross, or at least we can get them in. There we go. and protect on the way out, and on this side of the junction there. So that's all set up to go. We need to do the same here. Signal to protect there and there and there. And we need one here as well. So our signals are done at this end. Still got 7 million in the bank. Now this is going to be, this could actually bankrupt me, this. I need to be careful about this. So we're going quite high up. Not really sure why. Is it the road? It's quite a height as we get up here. I'm a little bit concerned about this, the gradient coming out here. I think I'd rather go flat to here. Bring that down. And then we're going to have to try and weave through. If I put the topography on here. Not navigable waters. You can see we've got a mound there we want to avoid. Potentially go around this side of it. Or we could try and squeeze. I think it's going to be too much of a squeeze to get around there. Kind of S-bend here, but I think if we go around this side and then we can head in towards the goods factory over there. So we can bring it out to here and then curve around the mountain. Hopefully, how much? Oh, we're going down here. We want to go kind of level. Knock that contour off a minute. So, well, we kind of went up. I didn't do very well here. I think we've gone too far up the hill. There's a hill in between here. I kind of want to come out here. I've gone too far to the west with this line. So I'm going to come right back to here and aim somewhere in the middle there. So that track is going straight and I don't have any bridges or anything to worry about there. So that's much better civil engineering there. So we'll come around here as level as we can. Trying not to rise too much. And then we probably will need a tunnel through this little hill here. There's not really a way to avoid this one. So if we get to there and then come through, yeah, we're going to have a tunnel. So lots of tunnels in this episode. I hope you like a tunnel. And we have our goods factory over here, which we need to bring out the main line to connect to it. So we'll sweep this around, trying to keep the speed up as best we can. And then we'll go from here, hopefully out in a nice straight line. There we go. So still got 6 million in the bank. We still got the money to buy the first train. Let's hope we can complete this line now. I might have to do this in sections. Just bring this section out here. And double tracking all the way around. And connecting to the wrong side. Oh no. It's a meme. Okay, let's take these back and connect them in the way around that we need. So we're connected in there, and we need to make sure we're connected in here on this side as well, because we need to connect in the back end of this station. So as we come off this curve, we'll bank a little more to bring that out. and make sure I remember this time to put in a crisscross as we get into here. Put our signals how we like them. 3 there, and then we can put some intermediate signals as we move along. We'll put one just at the entrance of the tunnel. Avoid them being inside. Not for any other reason than it kind of looks weird with a signal in the tunnels on this game. One either side of the level crossing should do us nicely. Turn my heater off. I am absolutely boiling at the moment in the room that I'm in. But you don't need to know that. And so we're pretty much all there for this second part of this. Now, I just want to see, have we actually received any plastics yet? Oh, we have our goods train, our plastics train coming in with 47. So Straslin Plastics is working. And it is bringing down that we have 22 there. We're only producing 21 at the moment. Probably still waiting on our trains to come through, wherever they are. Following them down the line. We've got our refined oil train on the way back. Where's the other one? There's that one. And this one is on the way back down with not a lot. Nothing on it as yet because we haven't managed to bring out any oil, I suspect. So in terms of supply wise, we're now at 72. And we've got a rate on Emden Oil of 23. So we absolutely need to bring some more vehicles in. So I'm going to mass clone. So we've got 4 now. That gets us to 45, and I think we're going to need another 2. Probably another 1. So we now have 7 vehicles on there. Ship 34 is halfway on its journey. You can see how long it's going to take to get this oil. But with enough ships, we can overcome that challenge. We can do it. And we have plastics here waiting, and that is going to make this line with the oil quite profitable for what we need. We are we're perilously close to upgrading this refinery. That's really what we want to see. We have shipment demand 325 at the moment, which is not too bad because our line has a rate of 260. So as long as we're above that, even with the split, we shouldn't be doing too badly for this train. Finances wise, it looks to be profitable, even though it's a short journey, which is good. And the refined oil line, again, that looks to be profitable when it makes those deliveries. So let's get the steel into our goods factory and we can end the episode once we have achieved that wondrous thing. So there's a few things we need to do here. So we need to be able to get, this tunnel might actually cause us a problem. So we need to get into here. I'm not sure if this game is going to like this. Is it trying to do something really weird there? Yeah, that tunnel is causing us a bit of a problem. We're coming out to there, but it's too tight a curve to go into there, obviously. And doing anything else seems to give us all kinds of weirdness. If I go right back here. If I go in a bit further, can I get it to give me a tunnel? If I lower it down a bit. Go quite down to get that there. I don't really want to do that, but I don't want this weird cutting. Yeah, I want these lines. Oh, can we get this to work? Or I'm gonna have to redo the whole thing. I want you to make a tunnel. Give me a tunnel. Don't give me it's not possible. Give me positivity, please. I don't want it to go down. I want it to go... I want it to tunnel. Ugh. Maybe we need to do some terraforming. Maybe that's the way to go. So if I've got enough money. I've got enough money. Let's give us a nice big brush size. And raise the ground here. Yes. Yes. Oh, no, 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 no. You gave me a tunnel. Please, give me the tunnel. What are you saying? What are you doing to... Ah, okay, 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 okay. That is going to give me the tunnel. And if I do it like that, and bring this track in as well. So I've got another entrance here. This is starting to look really good. I hopefully can bring this line in there. Like so, and I think that works. It's not pretty underground, but I prefer the look of this. I could maybe lower this down a bit now. Oh, it's starting to look a bit janky. It's just, oh, go up there. Maybe I need to smooth this out. There we go. That's looking good. Double entrance tunnel there into the underground section, and we just need to be able to do a crisscross now. I can just squeak it, look. Before we get into the tunnel, he says, having done one side. And it's not going to let me do the other. Come on. Where's the other set of points? It's there. Yes. We can do it. And now we will have to put signals inside. See, this is why they sort of stick into the wall, clip through the wall. It's kind of weird. But, and we can put one there as well. One there. And one here. For those junctions. And then we can split this up. Auto-saving. We'll put one in the middle of this beautiful viaduct we have here. This is probably going to be our most scenic route. Look at it. Lovely viaduct. Big old tunnel. And then we come into our ore factory here. Which is all connected up. So our coal factory is connected up. And our ore is connected up. And I think what we need now is another depot. Because the trains are going to have to go so far away to get there. We probably need another depot. So a good spot is kind of level in this area. So this would be a good spot, I feel. So I'm going to make a I'm going to make the triangle first. So we're coming down here. If I want to go onto this track, I need to come around like so. And then we need to come out this way onto that line. Like so. We can put signals then in that direction to protect going that way. Yeah. And if they're going that way, they need to be protected going like there. Yes. It works. Bring the depot around. Stick it on the end here. Lovely jubbly. Okay, we are ready to go. We are ready to birth a new steel industry. So let's get ourselves our... Oh, yeah, let's go with a Prussian. Come on, let's do it. We're going gondolas. We want as close to 160 meters as we can get. 157 with 84 capacity. And we're going to clone that vehicle as well. The first one is going to go onto collect coal. Oh, what have I missed again? Right, let's put in these use both platform do bars. And I missed the crisscross. It's always the crisscross. We're going this way. It's not going to let me do it. Come on. Got a new train coming out. You can hear it tooting away in the background. And it's not snapping to be level, which is causing me a problem. Oh, this is annoying. About there. There we go. Rightio. So, do we need to... It's saying it still can't do it. I mean, we put the crisscross in here, didn't we? Yeah. Yeah. Train can come this way, comes across. There's a nice crisscross there. It's heading for Pilsen, which is this one here. Could not connect all stations. So, oh, you know what? The crisscross is on the wrong side, you fool. Oh dear. Right, let's put the crisscross on the correct side now. You fool. This signal is going to get in the way. He says, but then it might not actually be that signal. Oh, too much curvature. You try and do all kinds of weird things here. It's trying to go back on itself and forward on itself. It does not like this crossover, so maybe it's too long. So we'll go a bit shorter than this time. Hopefully we can get it in. If I press something and stop it snapping, what if I... It's just not snapping anymore. It's just causing me issues. Okay. That's in. Protect on the way out. No more warnings. Trains can do it. The line is set up. We're collecting coal. So this is going to be our Pilsen coal line. And we're going to change the colour to black. And the train is going to be black as well. Why not? Yeah. This is what you... Oh, wow. Look at the way it's done the wagons. That is kind of odd. No shipment demand as yet. Which is worrying. We've not connected the station. Look at that. That's why. Okay, so we bring that down there. We take a road from here to here. I'm praying now that that's connected, and it is. So, yeah, we've got coal on the platform now, so that's an immediate change. The shipment demand is up. Our line works, and we need our second train, which we have waiting in here. It's going to go on another new line. It's going to take ore from there, from Jenna, and bring it in. And it's, I know I've forgotten a crisscross. I've forgotten a crisscross, haven't I? Give this a nice, or give it a burnt orange. We'll find out what I'm doing wrong here. He's forgotten the crisscross again. Don't need to remind me. I don't. Blah, blah. No, we're fixed. And we can pop our signals in to protect on the way in. We don't actually have any block signals in here. We will need some in this tunnel because it is a long old tunnel. As we come out here. That should do us fine. And then finally we need to sort out the line to use both platforms. And then we can do the most important thing, which is to change the colour of this train. So we're going to change it to the burnt orange. Which looks, again, rather, well, with the wagons being that colour, it doesn't look that different. But I'm liking the more Thomas the Tank Engine feel to our game today. German version of Thomas the Tank Engine, why not? So those trains are up and running, and they're hopefully going to be bringing ore and coal in here. We've got a rate of 110 on the first line and 239, so we probably already need a second train for ore to keep that balance. So we'll go to the ore train and we'll duplicate that. Get a second train on the road. We have ore building up already. Shipment demand is 400. So with that second train in place, we now have a rate of 220. So we'll get about 100 odd steel, which is what we need initially for our goods factory, which has plastic stored. It's ready to produce goods. So now we need another train, which we'll use our Prussian. We're going to be taking, what are we taking? We're taking steel. So we'll get close again to 160 meters, 80 capacity train, just enough money to buy it. We are perilously close to zero. Oh my word, if I don't put in the right crisscross again, I'm gonna go crazy. Okay, so we're coming from Prague. I needed to know that because the line name needs to change. It's not FSS, it's F Prague steel, and we'll give it a nice light. Let's go with the lightest blue. Let's find our train and let's make it also the lightest blue. Wow, luminescent. See it coming from a mile away. So we have our crisscross at this end. The train is waiting for a free path here. We haven't yet given it the ability to go to both sides of the platform. It's trying to go to platform 3, in fact. So it needs to be moved over to terminal 1. We'll put it on terminal 2, in fact. It can go that way, but it's still having a problem on the way back. So we come up here to Dresden and see that yet again. Oh no, I did put in the crisscross. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so where's the mistake this time? So we have the 2 terminals, 1 and 2. Prague Steel. Let's manage the line. It's trying to go to 3. I think that's the issue. Saying it can't get on this left-hand side track here. I'm not 100% sure why. We have a crossover here where you could do that. Why wouldn't you do that? No path. What do you mean there's no path? I don't understand. Still no path. It does not want to go on that side. How is there no path? You can go across there, over that line to the right-hand side, and off you go. We could do with a signal here to protect this junction. Actually, I'm not going to stop it for new trains. Yeah, that's fine. Seems to be fine. Have I got a signal the wrong way around somewhere? We've got our crisscross here, which can take it into either platform. It's in between. In between here, we are having an issue. So, is there any others that are using this line? Have I got my signals wrong way around somewhere? That's fine. Also fine. They're fine. They're fine. They're fine. Oh, look at that. They were the wrong way around, but that is not the problem apparently. Oh my word. Still got an issue. Still got an issue. And why can't they find a path? Oh, I'm going to have to go through the whole thing again. So we've got... Yep, both directions here, both directions there. Yep, right, left, all good. Right, left, all good. Right, left, all good. All good there. All good there. All good there. All good there. And all good there. You can come in here. You can take yourself off to... What? I'm baffled by this. I'm baffled by this. What is happening here? I bet you're typing into the comments right now going, you fool, you've missed this or that. What am I missing? See, now you can get on both sides. Look, it's absolutely fine. That train has no path, but you can see that maybe the train needs to reset. Let's try and turn this train around. And that is cleared. That has cleared the warning. The train just wasn't updating with the new pathway made available to it with that one rogue signal. So now we have a new steel industry, which soon enough, when it receives a load of ore and some coal, there's got to be some coal somewhere. It's got some coal there. It's going to start producing steel. It's going to start producing around 100 steel, which the Prague steel line will be able to take pretty much all of that at the moment down to our goods factory. So when our goods factory, will give some time to let that goods factory get going before we do that. So what we'll do in the next episode is we'll focus on some passenger travel, probably around Berlin, and trying to utilize some of our railway line. I'm thinking Hamburg and Berlin would be good places to connect with our first passenger line, and also maybe a nice little tram network around here, and also a nice, beautiful little tram network around this urban superpower area here that we have forgotten about. We also have some new vehicles that we can utilize in terms of road travel, so we'll be able to use some of the better type vehicles which have a high capacity and a high speed, which will be very, very good. But also what we really want is a tram setup to deliver passengers around and really get Berlin growing, because it has grown in this episode. We've reached probably a new peak, 412, over 400. But with passenger travel between these three towns, That's really going to change things. Really going to change things. You see traffic is terrible across some of these bridges at the moment. We are going to fix that with public transport. Public transport for the win. If you've liked this episode, thank you so much. Give me a comment on what you think, and a like and subscribe. It really cheers me up when I look in the morning and start doom scrolling. I check my YouTube, and there's people there that like the video, so you know, you make something good happen in the world. But that's all for this episode. I hope you liked this episode of our Transport Fever 2 in Germany. I'll see you in the next one next week.